morning, everybody. Hope you stocked up on your toilet paper. I am making this video for you who need some extra instructions on how to turn in some of these assignments the correct way on Google Classroom. Several of you attached files, but you didn't turn them in. You shared things to me via email, but you didn't actually attach them to the Google Classroom assignment. And I really would appreciate if you would watch this video and make sure that you are turning in your assignments the correct way.
So you should see on your screen what looks like this every time that you log in and click on an assignment. So let's use days 1 and 2, which most of you have already done, as an example. So you would open the file. You see how it opens up in a new tab in a browser up here. You will see that each assignment that you get for the next 10 days, so the 2 days we've already had plus the next days for the next 2 weeks going forward, it's pretty much going to look like this. I'm not good at pointing. It's going to look like this. So at the top, you will notice that there are bell ringers. Here is the thing. When you go to type in an answer, when it says your answer goes here, please highlight that and then delete it and then start typing your own answer in the box. So you do not need to leave where it says your answer goes here. You just need to start typing in this box and make sure that you actually read the question, because a lot of you, this thing says to list one strong reason to support the following claim. So even if you don't agree with it, even if you think that the driving age should stay at 16 where it is, this bell ringer is asking you to list one reason why Kentucky should raise the driving age to 18. This is not because I actually believe this. This is because I am trying to get you to practice some on-demand argumentation skills that we're going to be using for the rest of this unit and moving forward toward the end of the year. So right here in this box, what you should have done is listed one strong reason to support that particular claim, even if you don't personally agree with it. Then the same goes for down here where it says Tuesday, March 17th. List one strong reason to support the following claim. So even if you disagree and you think that, yes, the tournament needed to be canceled to stop the spread and flatten the curve, which it kind of did, but let's just say, for the sake of argument, that you wanted to argue that it shouldn't have been canceled. Give me one good reason here. That means deleting where it says your answer goes here and putting in your own answer, right? Then when you move forward from there, so it's time to do your reading assignment. Let's say you have a link that says pages 600 through 624 or 52 through 81. What you should do is you should click on that link. Notice that it opens up in another tab. It opens up in another tab. Wait for it to load, wait for it to load, blah, 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 blah. Wait for it to load. Here you go. You have the textbook. Now remember, the link told you that it's pages 52 to 81 on the PDF. Notice at the top of the screen that it says there are 227 pages. So you're going to scroll until you find page 52. Or, we're on 25. Or, the numbers that are down here on the actual page, those numbers correspond with 600 to 624. So if it's easier for you, whatever works best for you on your device that you are currently using. So you might not be using a computer. In fact, I think a lot of you are using your phones. You want to scroll till you get to page 600, which is the beginning of Act 2. Most of you should have already done this, obviously, but I have several of you who have still not turned this in. So here you go. We're on page 600. We are at the correct spot. Here we are, the Crucible Act 2. So let's say that you wanted to be able to listen to an audiobook of that particular act because you don't want to just read that in your head. So if you go back to the classwork page, you would see that I have listed several Crucible resources for you. So besides the textbook, which is always linked right here, you have a link to an audiobook. So you could open up this audiobook, which is a YouTube video, and play it while you watched and looked at the text itself to help you as far as with reading comprehension and to make it a little less boring for you, especially if reading is not your strong suit. Now, let's say even after you've read and you've listened to the audiobook that you are still having trouble and you have no freaking clue what is going on in this particular part of the play. Well, here's the thing. You can click on this link to the Crucible Act summaries, and if you go to this website, which is Shmup, I recommend. It's a really good study website, especially for literature and text that you have a hard time with. If you go to this particular website, you should see that down here on this summary link, you could click on Act 2, and it starts out, oh, look at that gross ad there, yuck. Anyway, it lets you see very, very detailed summaries for what is going on in this particular act. I mean, down to almost paraphrasing every single line. So we're not talking about a crappy summary that doesn't give you the context that you need. We're talking about a summary that can really, really help you, especially if you're having a hard time understanding what they're even talking about or what's going on. So back to our assignments. So let's say you've got day 1 and 2. You've done all your reading. You have finished reading. You are ready to move on to the assignments portion. So most of you were given this character chart a couple of weeks ago when we very first started reading this play, which was a piece of paper that looks like this. So if you don't have this piece of paper, the best thing for you to do is to open up this file. And when you open up this file, before it will allow you to edit anything, you're going to have to hit right here. I'm going to show you. File. You see where it says make a copy? You would have to click that. It will pop up like this. If you want to change the name of your file, you can. You can put your name here. You can make it whatever. It doesn't matter. Just save it, right? And then it will allow you to start typing on this document. And you could fill in these boxes without having to do anything on paper. Now, quick note, if you were on a phone, this doesn't look the same. So if you were on a phone, what it would say is you would hit share, and you would hit the dots at the top of the screen. You would hit share and export, then make a copy. So I'm letting you know how to do this if you need to do it in the future. Several of you have just kept doing it on paper, and I appreciate that. Just make sure that you're attaching your pictures to the assignment before you turn it in. All right, so this particular assignment, I didn't see any issues with you all being able to do this since we started this in class, and I made my expectations very, very clear. I didn't get many questions about this particular portion of the assignment for days 1 and 2. But if you need help with this, just understand this is nothing more than tracing the characterization of the particular major actors in this particular play. Oh, did you hear that? That was my daughter screaming at the top of her lungs while watching Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Anyway, then once you are done with that particular portion of the assignment, oh, she did it again. Oh, toodles. So here's the thing. You see how this says insert a picture of your work here? What you could have done to make this simpler for yourself, and I only saw one person do it, you could have, if you were using a picture like the paper, you could have hit insert, image, upload if you're doing this on a computer. If you're not doing it on a computer, you're doing it on a phone, you can still insert an image and it will pull up your camera roll, and you could pop your camera roll picture right in here and then not have to attach anything extra. So that's just a tip for those of us who need some help. So then when you get to this part down here, here's what I want. I want you once again, delete that it says your answer goes here and just type your own answer. But one thing that I am seeing that some people are doing a really, really good job with the answering these questions, and then several of you, you're not. Several of you are just putting in like 1 or 2 word answers or putting in really, really wrong things. Consult the text. The textbook has all of the answers to all of these questions, and these questions are in order, as in they go in order in which they appear in the particular act. So there's no need to jump around and get confused. Um, Also, down here is hail a good person. Why or why not? This question's kind of got me confused because I think a lot of you are saying, well, yeah, he's a good person because he's doing his thing. But, I want you to consider the fact that he is entering into this town and just going around and basically investigating every single person that Abigail Williams names as a witch when we don't even know. I mean, he doesn't even know Abigail Williams. So why does he trust her so much? And what does that say about his character that he trusts Abigail Williams, but he doesn't trust people like the Proctors? Also about Mary Warren and the poppet. A lot of you said that she had absolutely no idea that that's the way it was going to be used. But she made it right next to Abigail Williams in court. And she knows that Abigail Williams does not like Elizabeth Proctor. She also knows that Abigail Williams is sort of the ringleader of these witchcraft accusations. She also knows that Mary Warren, right? Well, I'm sorry. Abigail knows that Mary Warren works in the Proctor household and took her place after Elizabeth Proctor fired her. So, I want you to consider those facts before you move forward with answering questions about her. Also, sorry about that. My daughter is so excited when she's watching Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, and this is the only thing I can do to keep her occupied while I record this video for you all. Okay, so now that I've gone over how to actually do the assignment, this is what I want to talk about with you as far as submitting it. So, what you should notice when you view the assignment, if you're looking at it on a computer, it looks like this. If you're looking at it on a phone, it also looks like this, but there's like an arrow around this area on the screen that you have to click where it says your work and go up. So here's the thing. If you are attaching the character chart file or you're attaching a picture of your character chart and you want to do it this way, you have to click this button right here, add or create. You have to click Google Drive if you're attaching a Google Docs. You have to click File if you are attaching a photo. Do not, and I mean do not, under any circumstances, click any of these down here because notice how it says Create New. When you click one of these, it's just going to create a blank file of that particular type of document and it's going to attach it to this and then there's nothing on it. So make sure that if you're looking for something that's on your Google Drive like a docs file, you click Drive. If you're looking for a photo, you click File. You do not want to click any of these down here where it says Create New, okay? Now, the other thing is once you are done attaching these files, you need to hit this button that says Turn In. So several of you did not turn in your assignment, but you did attach files and you did complete it. And so what that's doing for me is it's meaning that I'm having to go back through every individual student who did not submit their assignment and open up all your files to see if you actually did it or not. And that's making my job a little bit more difficult. And I want you all to learn how to turn this stuff in the correct way because it's looking like we're going to be doing this for a little while, probably a little bit longer than 2 weeks. And we want to make sure that we are doing it the correct way so that it's easier for all of us. Okay, so make sure you hit add or create if you are adding additional files and you hit this turn in button. Here's the thing. If you don't, here's how to know if you've actually turned it in or not. If you didn't ever hit the turn in button, this right here will say missing in red because it was technically due at 11:59 p.m. last night, which means that right now it is technically missing. So that's how you turn in assignments on Google Classroom. That's how you attach files. And I'm going to leave you off with a couple little do's and don'ts. So, number one, do not just share files with me anymore. Attach them to the assignment, hit the turn in button. Okay? Do not, and I've only had a couple people do this, but do not do this assignment all on paper and then take a picture of it and upload it. That's a waste of your time. Instead, just open the document, which I've already attached for you. You already have your own editable copy. There is absolutely no reason that you should need to do this on paper as long as you have access to the internet through your phone or a tablet or a computer or whatever. There's no need to do this on paper. The only reason I'm giving you the option right now to do the chart on paper is because I already gave you a paper and we already started working on that paper. And I don't want to be a jerk. So moving forward, do your assignments on the documents that are already attached for you. Do not do them on paper and take pictures. Now, I hope you all, once again, are enjoying this time and also adjusting to this weird new lifestyle. We are going through something that we've never gone through before. All of us are going through it. So if you need any help with anything, you need any support, you just want to talk to me, hit me up through the email. Hit me up on Facebook Messenger as long as we keep it professional. It doesn't matter to me. I am here for any of you who need support, you need extra help, anything that I can provide for you during this time, I will do my best to provide it. And that's it for this edition of How to Turn in Assignments and Do Them Correctly. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and keep living that best quarantine life.